Pittsburgh Maulers quarterback Kyle Lauletta. Kyle, did he say your name right at any point in that clip?
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said, did he say your name right? Did Bradshaw get it right at any point there?
He did. I think the very last one that was close. Lauletta, like L-A-W.
Lauletta, like I fought the law and the law won, kind of deal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How about Terry saying, I know a little bit about the draft, and then just dropping the old, I got picked first overall. Apparently you don't know much about the draft. You didn't have to wait around, Terry. You were gone.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. A couple Super Bowls, man. He could say whatever he wants, man. He's a Pittsburgh legend for sure.
Kyle, we're trying to make you one, and it starts with this maiden voyage of the USFL 2.0. You were the inaugural pick of these new Maulers. So let's start with this. What made a guy like you, what drew you to the USFL, this chance that you're getting with our Pittsburgh Maulers, Kyle?
It's a great question. Well, I think it's coming at a really great time in my career. I've played 4 years in the NFL, and I've played on 5 different teams, and I've just kind of been a journeyman. The only time I really had a chance was with the New York Giants after I got drafted. But since then, I've been the third guy on the practice squad. Without COVID, we didn't play a preseason year. But really the only action we get at, somebody who's like a third string or a practice squad guy is really the preseason reps. And that's always a great competitive time for me where I can really improve and get better and get those reps. But then once that preseason's over, regardless of how you do, it's kind of done until the next year. And it's really tough. And I found myself at the end of this season not being on a team. I was with Jacksonville the entire season until the 3 of the last 4 weeks of the season. I was with the Browns, and then I got released the very last week of the season. So I was kind of sitting at home this off season with no team. I wasn't with the team, and I was asked about this opportunity, and like I said, I think it came at a perfect time, and it's going to give me the ability to get some valuable reps and have an opportunity to lead a team again, and try and help bring a group of guys along together and hopefully win a championship. So very exciting opportunity for me.
So, Kyle, it sounds like for you it's just, hey, I wasn't getting a chance to do literally anything at that point in the NFL. If I can put some tape together here, I'm going to get that chance, and that gets people's attention, right? I mean, the ultimate goal, get right back into the NFL and get on somebody's radar.
Be the next Tommy Maddox, Kyle. We've already had that story here in Pittsburgh.
Sure. No, there's been a lot of guys who have done that, gone to a secondary league and done really well. And obviously I want to be one of those guys. I definitely want to get back to the NFL. That's my end goal. But, as I alluded to before, reps and experience for a quarterback is just so important. I can, relate it to my years in college, from the year, my sophomore year to my senior year, just the improvement that I made and just the more comfortable that I felt. It was just night and day. And I can see the improvement on tape, and I really feel the same way in the NFL. Even though I haven't gotten the reps, I feel like I've been in so many offenses. I've learned so much football. I think that I'm definitely at a better point in my career now than I was when I first got into the league. So I'm just dying to, show everybody what I can do and kind of apply all the things that I've learned throughout the years. So, like I said, just a great opportunity for me and get some games on tape and finally play the game that I love again and do it for a longer, sustained period of time. So,
Kyle Lauletta, the Pittsburgh Maulers quarterback with us, who said he's going to try to win a championship, which begs the question, Kyle, if you guys do it, do you do the parade in Birmingham, or do you guys come to Pittsburgh for the first time?
You got to do it in Pittsburgh. You have to. Especially because they have a team in there. They got the Birmingham Stallions, so we got to bring it back home to Pittsburgh.
They're playing home advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I don't get that. See, what are you guys doing? Are you guys going to, import French fries on sandwiches down there? Are you trying to do anything to make it like Pittsburgh? Have you scoped out an area of
called Birmingham the Pittsburgh of the South, Mulsey.
Yeah.
That's all right. If we win games, I hope the fans will follow. So we'll just let our play do the talking.
I'll tell you what, if Steelers fans are any indication, if you guys start out with 3 or 4 wins in a row, there's going to be some absolutely Looney Tunes Maulers fans up here who are like, I'll go to Birmingham in the spring, and let's go watch a couple of games.
Exactly. This is only for a year. I think I was told that after this year, everybody would be returning to their home cities and doing camp there, and then hopefully hosting games there. next year. So it'll definitely be soon, not this season, but very soon.
So Kyle, what are the logistics of that then in Birmingham? Like, are you on your own to find a house or an apartment for the year? Like, do they have you in barrack style, like a training camp situation the entire season?
Military?
There's a huge Sheridan hotel there, and they've kind of partnered with the league and blocked out a bunch of rooms for coaches and players. So that is an option. We still do have to pay some of it. You know, they're obviously paying us each week, and I think they're going to give us a small stipend, you know, while we're there in camp. But we're mandatory in the hotel during camp, and then during the season you're kind of on your own. You can either stay in a hotel or find housing on your own. But I'm still trying to figure that out. But I'm sure it'll be fine wherever it is. You know, it's a short season, so you know, there won't be much time to do much else other than, you know, kind of lock in and get with the guys and try to win as many games as we can.
I mean, I think that's why they're having it in Birmingham, so there's a lack of distractions in the city around you. Are there going to be any, can you tell us, for people who who know the Maulers are back, know the USFL is back, are there going to be any sort of rules, tweaks, or things that get tried out? I'm not going to mention the name of the other upstart football league. We're not talking about
screw those guys. They don't have a Pittsburgh team.
I don't care about the Rock. But are there going to be any little rules tweaks that get tried out that'll look a little different than an NFL game?
Yeah, I'll tell you a few things that I know, and like I said, I don't even know the full rule book at the moment, but I've been filled in on some of the changes. First of all, there's going to be smaller rosters. I think there's going to be 38 active players on game day, which is, I think, 9 players smaller than an NFL roster, which is definitely a big deal. I think there's going to be a shorter play clock by 5 seconds. I think from 40 to 35 seconds. So you're going to see, you know, some faster paced play. You know, maybe some more hurry up. And I think, you know, the commissioner was talking to me saying that, you know, that might even give opportunity for some of the smaller linemen who are in better shape to kind of, you know, run up and down the field. Because if you're a big guy, you know, those 5 seconds on the play clock is going to make a huge difference. You know, I heard some things like pass interference. They were going to make it a judgment call, being able to either be a spot foul or a 15-yard penalty based on, you know, if it's a bang-bang play 40 yards downfield, I think they're going to mark it off 15 instead of doing it as a spot foul.
Oh, like they used to do with a face mask. Like if it was just a touch, it was 5 yards versus a – yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
So some really interesting things, and I think that, you know, a lot of times some of these leagues try different things out, and then you know, it's something that maybe the NFL likes, and then they change it as well, because there's definitely been a ton of rule changes even since I've been in the league. So I know that you know, leagues are always trying to find ways to make their game more competitive and more fun to watch. So who knows? Maybe, you know, we'll do a couple things that the NFL likes and tries to implement themselves.
Kyle Lauletta, Pittsburgh Maulers quarterback, our guest. Yes, Malzy?
I was just going to ask you, Kyle, for people that maybe have not seen you play or did not see you at Richmond or anything like that, who does Kyle Lauletta style his game after? Give me like the Kyle Lauletta comp so that Pittsburgh Maulers fans can know what they're getting into with their new quarterback. Brett Favre type? Are you going to gunslinger it? You going to say throwing it down the field? Triple coverage? Who cares?
I don't know. I don't know if I try to model myself around, you know, a single guy. People always ask me that. I try to bring my own brand to it.
You had to be a Donovan McNabb guy. You were growing up outside of Philly when he was playing quarterback for the Eagles, right?
Well, I'll say this. Accuracy was not Donovan McNabb's strong suit, and I think that is one of my strong suits. So I definitely don't compare myself to him.
I will tell you this.
You should see the expression on my face right now.
Kyle, I'll tell you this. Yeah. Andrew is a Syracuse graduate who counts Donovan McNabb as among his all-time favorite players, so he just went like ghost white here when you said that.
I'll say this. He could make some throws I think that I definitely couldn't make, but he used to miss some easy ones all the time.
He threw it into the ground at guys' feet. It was like he'd have a guy right there in front of him.
And he also threw up in the last drive of the Super Bowl. He also, Kyle, did not have as good of a handle on the NFL rules as you already do on the USFL.
Well, I guess we're aware of it now. I mean, in college there's multiple overtimes. I mean, high school and Pop Warner. Never knew in the professional ranks that it would kind of end that way. Hate to see what happens in the Super Bowl, or hate to see what happens in the playoffs.
Yes, he'd hate to see what happens if the Super Bowl ended in a tie. Yeah.
Kyle, so you have this time with various NFL teams. How many guys did not know how overtime worked? Because I think Najee Harris,
man.
the Steelers' first-round pick, admitted that he wasn't sure.
I don't even know what
the
the USFL overtime is.
Yeah. Oh, so the overtime, I think they told me it's sudden death 2-point conversions. I think that's what they're going to do.
Oh, we
But
had
yeah,
a Penn
there's time-
State-Illinois game that was just like 10 2-point conversions to decide a game this year, Kyle.
That's painful.
It was not easy to watch.
I mean, I think they're trying. I think the deal is they're only being given a certain amount of time for the broadcast, so they really need to get the game in during
Gotcha.
that time.
Makes sense.
So I think even if you do 2-point conversions and it goes, a bunch of possessions, it still shouldn't take that much time. I think that's part of the reason why they're going to that. But it's funny you mentioned the rules because there's so many rules. Even the novelist football fan, like there's a lot of rules that they probably don't realize, and it's a big thing in the NFL. We definitely spend a lot of time on knowing the rules, but there's always a time or two in the season where a guy doesn't know the rule and it comes back to bite him. So definitely an important part of the game,
Yep.
and definitely a reason why. It's funny when some people are just learning football for the first time. It is not an easy sport to learn because there are a ton of rules. But if you don't know them, there's a couple times like that they show the Leon Lett, play all the time on the block field goal.
With Leon, you have to
stuff
say
like
which
that.
one,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, but no, it's hard, man. And in the heat of the moment, your instincts are going to take over, and you really got to know the rules, or I could totally see how you could screw it up in the moment.
Kyle Lauletta, the first pick in the new Pittsburgh Maulers history, joining us here on The Fan, their quarterback. You went through the NFL scouting combine. It's going on right now. We've got the Steelers looking for a quarterback, Kyle. We've got Kenny Pickett, a local guy who did a show with us, Heisman finalist. He's going through this process. You lived it. The quarterbacks are getting interviewed tomorrow, and then they're going to work out on Thursday. Tell us firsthand experience what it was like for you, what Combine Week means to quarterback prospects.
I think, Combine Week means a whole lot. I think that's really where teams get to know you on a personal level, and I think that's really where teams, can fall in love with a guy. And it's one of those deals where maybe a guy gets picked during the draft, and you're like, whoa, we never saw that coming, but maybe that team, kind of just really fell in love with that prospect through the Combine. So, it's definitely an opportunity to prove what physically, obviously, with all the testing they do, and they watch you throw and stuff, but they definitely put a lot on your plate mentally and really try to put you in uncomfortable positions in the interviews. And, and another thing is that people don't realize is you're really sleep deprived through this whole thing. I mean, you wake up early and you go to bed really late. And, one morning we all take a drug test, and I want to say it's at 3:30 in the morning, but they're even like, hey, show up early so you don't have to wait in line. So
Who's running the thing, Tom Coughlin?
It's just weird, man. I think it's kind of backwards how they're asking these prospects to perform at an elite level, but on 4 or 5 hours of sleep on average a night. So it's challenging. It takes a toll on you, and everybody's like, "Oh, how fun was the combine?" It's really not fun at all. It's definitely a grind.
What's the thing that either your agents or you felt going into it, Kyle, as a quarterback, was like the thing you had to ace or get right or do well at the combine to improve your draft stock?
Well, that's a good. I think like for me, a big knock on me, or the only thing that prospects were unsure about, was maybe my arm strength. And that was something that I worked really hard to get bigger. First of all, I've always been a leaner guy, but I remember just working so hard, just lifting, and I think I got to like 222 is what I weighed in at the combine. So I was definitely big and strong, and I looked the part, and I just wanted to prove to those guys that I could throw that wide side of the field out route. I could throw a go ball and put it out there, because I feel like in college I did have a lot of success throwing the ball down the field, and that was kind of the one negative on me coming out was, I don't think he has quite the arm. So that was definitely one of my priorities, and then just, being able to demonstrate that I really, really understand football and I'm a student of the game. I've had a lot of OCs since I've been in the NFL, but when I was in college, I had 4 offensive coordinators. The last 4 years I was at the University of Richmond.
Holy cow!
I had already been exposed to so much football from some great coaches, and I'd been taught so much. So I think that was kind of another thing that I was, really trying to emphasize, was how well I knew the game and how, pro ready I thought that I was, mentally to take on the NFL.
Kyle, let's see how well you remember the combine and how you did I have your combine scores in front of me.
Oh, boy.
Do you remember what you ran in the 40 at the combine?
Oh, of course, man. 4.81.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you remember your vertical from the combine?
Oh, I do not. I would say it was over 30, but it wasn't much. Maybe 31.
Right on the numbers.
Look at this.
One more. If you pull this one, rabbit out of the hat.
Come on, Kyle.
here.
I'm betting I need to go 3 for 3. Let's do this.
This is your first pressure-packed moment for Pittsburgh fans.
All right.
Can you give me your 3-cone time?
Oh, no. 3 cone. Definitely 6. I'll go 6, 7, 6.
6.95.
What a
and
run.
you threw it
That's not
52 miles an hour, too. You put absolutely some mustard on that ball.
Have you ever been to Pittsburgh, Kyle Lauletta?
I have. I've been there twice. It's funny because, growing up in Pennsylvania, people always say, oh, Pittsburgh, that's right across the way. But Pittsburgh is quite a drive from Philly. So,
And the Turnpike lets you know that with what they charge you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, I went to Penn State,
yeah.
and being you're from, Exton, correct?
Yes, sir.
So being from there, you're one of, if I would have met somebody from your town at Penn State, I'm sure I did, as a matter of fact, it's never, I'm from Philly. It's I am from outside Philly. Apparently nobody actually lives in Philadelphia, but 10 million people live outside of Philly.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Philly circle is just the whole southeastern part of the state, I would say, is constituted. Oh, I live outside Philly. That could mean 20 minutes. That could mean an hour.
Yeah, I had people who were like, I live outside of Philly, and I'd go, where? They'd go, oh, Lancaster. I'd be like, that's a totally different city.
Yeah.
I like checking you out on Twitter now, Kyle, because you absolutely hated Ben Simmons. You had a real visceral dislike for what was going on with the Sixers and Ben Simmons.
Well, a lot was going on. I think that, it was frustrating. It's funny, I was up in New York with the Giants, and there was actually a couple of my good buddies who worked at Wall Street at the time, and we would always get together and watch Sixers games. But
congratulations on all their success. Wall Street guys.
That Ben Simmons has put me through is just can't even explain, some of those playoffs.
All he had to do was dunk the ball.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his lack of aggressiveness is one thing. Shooting the ball, it's almost the more frustrating part to me was the free throws, because I think that as an elite athlete that is that gifted, you should be able to, in an off season, to me, put the work in, put the time in to where you are at least shooting 50% from the free throw line. You know what I mean? I get that his hands are big, I get it, but you're a pro. You should really put some time in. And I felt like, he could have proved to everybody that he was a grinder and he wasn't going to make excuses, and he kind of went the other way.
He's the antithesis of a former Sixers guard from Pittsburgh, T.J. McConnell. That guy was all heart and all hustle, Kyle.
Love TJ. Yeah, absolutely. I love T.J. McConnell. Yeah,
one bad thing is this is forcing me to root for James Harden, so that's kind of tough. Got to be honest.
Hey,
there.
Kyle, can you make a deal with us? If you win the inaugural game for the Pittsburgh Maulers, will you come back on the show?
I would love to. Absolutely.
Let's go!
Yes. My word.
Yes!
Yeah.
Kyle, we got Kenny Pickett in the Heisman race. We did shows with Roethlisberger, at least I did.
Nice.
And we're going to make a star out of Kyle Lauletta.
Thank you.
There you go.
I would love to, guys. No, this was fun. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll see you. Kyle Lauletta, the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Maulers.
We're a quarterback show.